To the Rabasha Family Podcast. Let me make sure the audio is connected. Let me hear it just in case.
Can you move the right a little bit? Or maybe it's the other one.
Yeah, that one's on. Okay, you ready? That's fine.
Yeah, there's something white there. I don't know.
Where?
On your side. Or maybe the laptop.
Oh, yeah. Ready? Three. Welcome back to the Rabasha Family Podcast. We're here yet again for another special episode where we talk about life, family, everything. So please let us know what you guys love to talk about or love to hear. Today we want to talk about something different. We want to talk about education, or how in African diaspora, this notion of going to university, and should you send your children to university, or whatever that discussion should be. So Dad, thank you, and let's start it off.
Yeah, guys, thank you. It's good to come, always to have time, and we can share what is in our mind. So everything's in our mind is what we do. And it's happening in our daily life. And when we have time to talk about it, yeah, it's so good. Yeah, as it says, African especially, not everywhere, everywhere. In diaspora, even back home, yes, when you have your children and they are finished adult and they can't go to uni, sometimes as parents we feel it's like, if your kid doesn't go to uni, you feel like you are losing it. You feel you never achieved anything, because always we told, and that is how the children should be go to uni. Should be, yeah. So it's a pride for parents. Yeah, sometimes not always for the children, but most of the times, especially as an Africans, we like our children to go to uni no matter what.
Why?
I think it's just small minded. So that is why I found here is different, like maybe in Australia. And then also is because for financial back home to go to university, education is the most important thing to do. If you're not educated, always you feel life is not going to be any better for you, especially in Africa. And then also to be able to go to university back home, it costs more money. So not everybody is really affordable to go to uni.
So is it a thing of status?
Eh?
Is it a thing of status?
Yeah, in diaspora, yes, but back home, sometimes also you can have children who want to go to uni, but you don't have money. Yes, there's some parents back home which they have kids who are very intelligent, and then they struggle to go to uni to work because of finance. But here in Australia, sometimes it's so different, because there is money, there is a loan, there is more facility here, people to go to uni. Yeah, and yeah, when it says ancestors, yes, for the parents, especially when you have money, yes, it's a pride for parents. Sometimes not necessarily for the kids when they grow up, but for the parents, it's how it is.
So your message is more so like, you, if your child doesn't want to go to university, it's not the end of the world. Because that's such a big topic. Like,
Yes.
did you ever feel pressure to send us to university?
So I think me, I'm different. I didn't care much about if you go to uni or no.
Why?
Because it's at the end of the day, it's your life. So if you don't feel to go to uni, why? Why don't you feel to go to uni if you want to have a good life? If you want to achieve some things, why you can't go there? So now, most parents, why they don't need to push you. So the good things I like Australia, you can go to uni no matter times you feel. So you don't need to go there after you finish high school. Yeah, but it's different like back home. So back home, if you can't go to uni startup, it's harder to go maybe when you are working or something. But here, you can go to uni anytime you want. But most of we have pressure, especially your mom. She had pressure. She wanted every child to go to uni. Education is so important.
So she
But-
wanted us to go to uni.
Yes, but for me, what I'm trying to say, why you should not think is important for yourself. Why do your parents have to push you to go to uni? Why you don't think yourself you have to go to uni?
But who says you have to go to uni?
I'm not saying you have to go,
Mm.
but if you want to go better, way better life, it's you how you feel. Do you want to go to uni or no?
Well, my question is, but even the notion of saying if you want to have a better life,
Yes, that is what they say. To have better life, you have to be educated. You have to go to uni.
do you agree
So-
with that?
See, yes, some point is there. Yes, some point, but both ways work. So to be successful, I think is in the mind. But to be successful when you've been in the uni is a plus.
To be successful when you've gone to uni,
Yeah,
is
it's
a
a
plus.
plus.
What do you mean?
Yes. It's a more like what I have my degree now. I am so successful. I have money. So in terms maybe extra knowledge is much better. It feel proud is another title. See, so if you're successful and you don't have maybe you achieve education, you achieve in uni, they something they're missing there. That's how life standard life it is.
So hold on. You think so? If you become successful without going to university, you think there's something missing?
Yes,
Really?
yes, it is. It is in your status there. Yeah.
What makes you say that?
It's how life is because you remember also to go to uni. It's another form of education there. See, that's what they say. Oh, this person is successful, but he's not been educated. You see, that thing had to be there. Oh, he's rich, but he never went to school.
Mhm.
You see, that is what it is.
So like Elon Musk,
Mm.
Steve Jobs, all these people, they never went to university or never finished.
Yes.
So-
So always they have to add that on it. Yes.
But I think they
Yes.
bring it up because
Yes.
all our lives we're told that you have to go to university, but then they bring up the extremely successful people who never went to university.
Yes.
As an example, like
But you remember, uni also, it's a business. University have to market. The more they get people to go on their doors, it's good for the economy. But you can remember always if you've been successful, and always they got to have to bring that issue there. Yeah.
because from what I've seen, like I feel when I see or what I've heard from university, because I haven't gone to university, but I hear it's quite a lot of theory and not a lot of doing it. So a lot of people are saying you have university lecturers, for example, business course. They've never started a business themselves, but then you're in a course learning about.
Yes, you see, remember it's learning. You see, you have to be differentiation to be successful and to go to uni. Yeah, most people went to uni, they are not successful because they don't have that desire. To be successful is different desire than education. You see, everything had to be desire. The children who really grow up, go to school, always in their mind think, I have to go to uni, I have to do this. There's kids who are born like that. So there's other kids who are to be forced to do that. But there's the one who have willing to go straight away to uni. So that for me, that always I keep saying there, if your children have desire, support them. If they don't have that desire, people get scared, people get mad. Yes, if your children can't go to uni, parents get mad. Parents kick the children out from their homes. Parents, stop relationship because they're thinking you have to do that, you have to go there. they'll be pushed to go there by force, by parents. Yeah, some they're like that. And some, see, and also sometimes most parents, if so they feel maybe they fail for their children if they go to uni.
If they don't go to uni.
So it's a pride for parents, especially in African community. Our children to go to uni, it's a pride for parents. Yes, it doesn't matter who go to study, whatever is go to will be successful or no, but maths is just pride of that.
But my question is, who's done such a good job to show that once you go to uni, like it's success? How did that come into play?
Yeah, no, it's not success. That's what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying. An African parent will feel like, yes, my child's in university. They feel it's that status. They feel like it's success.
Yes,
like
I told you it's a pride, not necessarily to go to be successful or to be rich because you went to uni.
Yeah.
It's a pride for parents to see, oh, my son have been uni, my daughter have been uni. Yes, always found parents who have their children who went to uni, they have to say that title. Oh, my children is like this, my children went like this. Yeah, it's a pride for parents. A title. You go to meet it because if you go now everywhere, because you live in Australia, you go back home, everybody's going to ask you, oh, do you go to uni? Everybody's going to ask you that. Because that's how we feel that how it's supposed to be. And especially here, to go to uni here is much easier than anywhere else. Than back home. Here there is a loan, here there is more facility to go to uni. So that's why every time you go back home, people will ask you, oh, did you go to uni? See? And everybody, if you found you didn't, they feel, oh, there's something's missing there. So they question why. Yeah, that's how it is.
Oh, it's like for them, it's like, man, you live in a place like Australia, you have to take advantage of.
So look how many kids come from Kenya everywhere in Africa come to study. Millions. Look how many kids come from Asia to come just to study here to unis there. It's a business also. It's a product. University in Australia, it's a product that we found all Asian kids come from Singapore, Malaysia, everywhere. They come to study here. Look how many units there are here in the whole Australia. It's a lot. It's a business. It's a billion industry business. And the system, they already put it in place there. So now they more marketing. They want student. Student, your client. See? So the more students come there, they build economy. It's the accommodation, the restaurant, they have to work, they think there. So it's something's good. But again, in Australia, the things I like, whatever you feel, you can go to you. And now these days, now they make it, now you can even do it online when you are working, when you're doing your business. And that's the good things also to do. So now if you are working, the industry you are in, and then from there, you can go to uni. At least you know what you want to do, and you're doing it. So now there's more working, there's more positions if you're working. It's good to require to maybe to have that uni. If there's experience, maybe there's some form they can ask you that. But if your own business, you don't want to do that. It's like all those people you're talking about who have been successful and never go to uni, they have their business. So that's how they see their CEO their own. So that I'm saying, you don't need to go to uni to be successful, because the world has shown many people who never went to uni who are successful. Especially majority, I think.
Majority.
Yes. Because
especially entrepreneurs.
Yes, because you remember it has a different desire.
And a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of them are a little terms of when they want something, they go and get it, and maybe a lot of them think, why am I going to study 3 to 4 years when I can just take action now?
Yes. So those that have that desire, they know what they want. They know what the market is there. They want what to chase. See, it's a mind. So the mind is powerful. See, mind is more everything. See, education comes after. Yeah. So the mind is the most important thing. The mind, your brain is what you make. So the people who created the school, who invented the school, they never went to school. Yes.
The ones who created it.
Yes. The one who created it, they never went to school. The one who created this, the title, PhD, everything, they never had one. But in their mind, they created everything. See, that's how it works. The people who created school, the system, they never been in school, but they created it in the mind. So the business is in the mind, and the entrepreneur is in mind. Yes, everything is in imagination. What they did, they imagine when the kids they are young, what can we do to them? Let's put them in the school. And they imagine that period of times. And then the period they say, okay, 6 years. And then after 6 years, they still more time to do. And they, you see, and that's how it works. Because remember, the world was there before even education. Education came later. But life was there in different ways. See? And that is why the people who even do bring ideas, the ambition for the business, it doesn't come necessarily from the school. It comes just from our daily business, daily ideas, daily, you see, that, look, I was listening, somebody was saying, the guy who created Uber, he was thinking in the mind, on the street, and the idea came in there. But you see, there is many company which is giving people money to chase a investment where to create, but they don't find something like that. Why? Why no one has ever seen Uber before, this big company? Because they put money every time for project. Yes, they spend money, they go to uni, they start taking money to the university to do the research to create business. So why somebody was there on the street and then he did it? And when even he did it, many people have refused to invest with him because they could see as a business. But him, he saw it. And now look how it changed everything. Uber changed everything people they were thinking in life.
Are they a public company?
Yes. It's become huge now. It's huge. Talking about Uber, it's a big company now. But it was just the idea just coming from the street. But there are people who have been searching to create, business opportunity, but they didn't see it. Yeah, but somebody in the street, he see it. So everything started from the mind. Yes, and as I say, some parents, they die when they, not dying like dying to die, but feel bad when their children, they don't go to uni, something like that.
It's interesting. Even like the Uber, he was one night waiting for a taxi that was taking long.
Yes,
And then that's when the idea, he's like, wait a minute, why can't, and then I should be able to know where my driver is.
So all those ideas come from somebody doing different things. So all this idea come from the mind. Every idea somebody sees in the mind, and no one sees it before. That is who people create. Everything we create have to come to my mind. Somebody see before anyone else. And now to convince other one to agree, it takes time. See? So now you have to match with other mind is going to match you to be able to do it.
That actually reminds me, even starting this business, our business, that no one still sees it, and you have to try and convince others to see it.
Yes, that's how it works. You have to keep talking. You have to keep doing this. You keep doing it. It doesn't work. You keep continue. You keep continue. You record. You say. You look followers. You don't get any followers. You keep doing. You keep chasing them. You know. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then things can work when you keep doing it. And because when you keep doing it, also the idea also keep coming every time in your mind. Yes, so that is why I say mind is so powerful than anything. It's God, always, everything. Now we are talking. Why do we talk about this? Because something comes to our mind every day. Comes to our mind, to our friends every single day. Yes.
So what would be your message to African parents when it comes to if their child says they don't want to go to university? And then even what's the message for that African child who's being forced to go to university?
Yeah, but again, it's about freedom. It's a freedom of mind. That are the things you have to learn. If normal child is going to be good, why you can't go to uni if you feel you're good?
But what about if that child sees like the same thing like these entrepreneurs? Like, why do I feel I want to go to uni if I want to
Yes,
start
you see,
this?
also entrepreneur, he shows his ability to do some things earlier age. Yeah. So every times, everything, it's happened with the reason, and most parents can see it. You can see if a child is ambitious to be entrepreneur, to become something. You see it when they're still young. Yes, you see it in their mind. But only things, everything's in the mind. Their parents, if they don't feel, they don't need to feel it's the end of the world. That's only I can tell the parents. They don't feel it's the end of the world. But again, it's your pride. Yes. It's how the parents you feel, how the community go to see me. See, there are parents who's go to say, I can't live if my children ever come to you. Yes, in the mind, again, it's in the mind. It's what you believe. But again, it's not the end of the world. Whatever can come, when you give it freedom, children mind, and they do it. They do it. Again, if you force them again, you go to look again. They're not going to be that result maybe sometimes. But again, also the environment. So if you have friends, also it's a part, especially young. Don't follow your friends. Yeah, that's for the message for young people. If you have that talent, go to the uni. But if you try to follow your friends, your peer pressure, so that is the only problem.
To go to uni.
Even not to go.
Or not to go,
Yeah, most time who don't go is because their friends, they're choosing different way. Yes, and then you have talent, and then you try to follow the other ones. So that is only the problem. So for young men, you follow your dreams. Don't look at other people. That is the most the problem. Peer pressure kills your dream. You know, peer pressure, it doesn't help you at all. Now, if you learn to have, you use your power, your mind, you look, the advice from the parents, why you can't do things, yes, and then you do it. And if you feel completely not, you feel it, again, everything's is power in yourself, in your mind. But don't follow other people, you go with your guts. Look how it works there, the opportunities there, especially when there's opportunity there. Yeah, just take it. Yeah.
You know, when that story you just told reminds me of when I was in that phase in my life, and people were saying, "Oh, but you got to go to university." I had the peer pressure to go and to do well, but I could just never forget it in my mind. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I was actually, to be honest, I wanted to go do it in America, but play football at the same time. That was a little bit of the path until I got an opportunity, but I was not even hearing it. I remember walking out of my exams, I just quickly, because I knew what I was going to do. I had already envisioned what I wanted to do. So I didn't allow the peer pressure, which was hard, because imagine everyone around you at you're 17 years old is telling you that you're making a mistake and study, this is your whole life. But it's like I didn't hear them.
So do you feel regretted because any?
No way.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So everything is from you. So it's your decision. It's in your mind. It's how you feel. So and that is why there. But sometimes as parents, we want that pride. That is what is. So sometimes is what creates the tension. It's just the pride, not the quality of education, not what you go to do there. No. Yes.
But
It's just the pride. It doesn't care if you go to get uni, you get the job, or you do anything. No. It's just the pride we as parents.
Because a lot of people they'll go to university for social studies or communicate or something that they're just going because not only do they getting pressure from their parents to go, and then they just pick something that they just pick anything, not something that they're passionate about or intrigued, or maybe they might have some curiosity, and then they don't even go and end up working. I think also what you used to kind of alarm me, I remember working jobs, and then I'm working at a call center. Someone's did an engineering degree, and then they were working alongside me, and then it's kind of seeing a little bit of their regret. But going back to what we were saying, I think also when it's, especially with African, we live in the community. You said something, you've always said this in our interviews, that white people don't live in the community, they live individually.
Yes.
So that's why I noticed with white people, they don't have that thing of university or that pressure. Sometimes my son's studying here, or no, my son is doing this or doing this. I haven't really noticed that. Sometimes there is that because the matrix or the general society, so also that's everyone, doesn't matter what color you are, tells you to go to school because it's a business, it's a marketing. They need more people in, it's a business, it's a huge industry. So in general, it's like that. But I think in African especially, we can disown our children if they don't go to university.
Yes, because again, remember also, and also comes with that's why I'm saying also the community also comes with what is called poor mind. So poor mind is just to what you think is only things it can be as a parents. Yeah, that is it. What you should do. You have to go to uni. That's the only way you go to survive. But we found here in Australia, not the case, especially from the white people. Whatever who want to go to uni, they will go. Whatever who doesn't want to go, they don't go. So that's the difference. So they have that freedom to choose what they want to do. Yes. But we found there's many who like to go there when they finish high school from themselves. Yeah. So that is how the difference. They have freedom of mind to choose and also to communicate. They can do it not now and then do it later. Yeah, so that is the difference there. There's a poor mind which sometimes is needed to be there between.
So why do you call that a poor mind?
Yes, because you think that is only the way. There's too many ways for life. Yes, not only that way. Yes. Yes. Again, it's just because back home to go to uni costs much, and there are not many there. Children who are smart, who finish, but they can't afford to do that. That's the only things which you feel bad because they are quality there. They finish, they have that desire, that dream. But their parents, they can't afford. The government, they can't afford to give them the loans to do that. Maybe now they go to start doing it, but you've never been there before. especially in Kenya, everybody want to go to study. In Kenya is good also people, family, they contribute for the children to go to study. Family in the village, they put money to send their children to go to school. They come something called Harambe, where young kids get the money, he doesn't have money, and then he call people in the village, they can help him to uni.
Do you think it changes their life?
Yes, it does, especially in the village. If a kid's very smart, so the community can go up together and then pay the kids school fees to go to uni. And which is good sometimes is because they need that support in the community. But the government, they should know those things needed. So only that's the problem, is still a long way to go. Maybe it's because of the poverty. Africa is rich, but it's disorganization we have there. See, all these people always, how much millions from Africa go to study in Europe or in America, in Australia? Huge. If you could have much better university back home, technology, everything there, but they don't think about it. I don't know if they think about it. I don't think it's because maybe they can't afford it. It's like Kenya, it's a huge city, has many people educated. Why they can't create a huge university?
What do you mean by huge university?
Yes, many is like they want people to come to study here in Australia.
That people can be traveling to go to Kenya to go to university.
Yes, yeah. So why? So that's wonder.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah. So why, that are the things, always we have to think, you have to go to study outside.
Yeah, why can't people, because all the people who, like, let's say, travel to Australia to go to university or America, that's bringing economy into those countries.
Yes.
It's helping them. But if we were to create a big university,
yes,
that would bring economy to people in
Yes.
Uganda and South Africa and, other African countries want to come to the university there.
Yes. So that is why it has still a poor mind. So the poor mind is just to think you have to go outside.
Consumers.
So anything's better, nothing's happening in Africa. You have to go outside. So we have never had that pride to say we are good, we can do this. We are good where people can come, travel everywhere to come to us to do that. It's the same like even, what do you call it? These churches people where to go. People have to go in Rome because it's sacred place. People have to go in Mecca.
Mecca.
Mecca for Islam. People have to go Italy in Paul. There's nothing you have in Africa. Only just national park. That is what nature we have. But they should create those kind of things there. Because those are religious tourism. Nearly a million of people goes to Mecca every year. Do you know how much money they put in that economy? It's huge. It's huge. It's the same. People go to tourism every time in Italy.
To see the Pope,
the
Vatican.
Yes, and that is the idea of the business. Nothing there. Only what we have back home in Africa is just national park. It's nature. Yes.
So what does that come down to? Why can't we
poor mind to think we are worthy. We think we can do it by ourselves. We can do pride ourselves. No. It's poor mind. We think it's the same. We have a problem. Why we came to Australia? Because we think this is the best place to live. And that is why it has got to change. Maybe yes, but we have to talk about it. The people who have huge money, the government, they have money, but they can create a school, go to university with good money. See, those are the kind of investment people they go to. But what do? We get money more to send them away. So difficult thing there, we send him away. So we never think our place is that best. Our place is a place where to build things there, to, you know. Yes, that's what we call poor mind. Poor mind, you keep thinking everything. It's outside. And also because maybe also because of to be colonized, and then these companies don't want competition. See, that's why they feared always competition in Africa.
Because they know Africa has so much. So is it because they want us to continue being consumers?
Yes. That's the only way. Only way they would always to make sure Africa is the consumer way. Only how it's going to change. Maybe the country also they can say, okay, now it's time to support African countries, but they will not.
Support in what way?
What way? The way, how did America supported China? They send jobs there. They send all technology there.
Manufacturing.
Yes. If they wanted, they could have sent it to Africa. But they didn't want. But because again, they say maybe there's no infrastructure, but everything they can build up. Everything you can build. If you build somewhere else, you can still build another place there.
Yeah, but maybe they thought if we build it in Africa, there could be like, it's kind of that they've always seen as, no, they're too poor. It's like below. Or is that from what they...
No, they know it. They don't want to make Africa successful. Even Africa, they themselves, we don't want to feel we are capable to do that. Also, it's poor mind. We don't feel we can do that. The way they negotiate. You see, like what I was saying about, you know, all the raw materials there. They have to dig the dust, everything, sent to China. But they could have bring factories in Congo or whatever, where there are many minerals, and then they do the raw material there, and then they export it there. But they don't. Even African leaders themselves, they don't negotiate that. They just say, no, you can't dig this, bring the factory here. Employ people here, create factory here, and they can do that. You see, every raw material they just put and then they send. You know, the chocolate, the most chocolate, cocoa is planted, I think, those West Africa. It's the same. They can still go to make a small raw material in Africa, go employ people, and then they can send an extra maybe back to Europe. But no. See, but it's as how they negotiate. These things they know. They know how you do it. You make something there. You create job for people there. And then it's just that. But they don't. Look, the minerals, they are huge. How much tax they get to build the people? They don't. So it's hard. Sometimes you wonder what those politicians they do. They say, oh, we are rich, we are. Even I started realizing, I started thinking, there is no way all those in Europe, they say, oh, we don't have any minerals, we don't have anything there. And I started to doubt. They are lying. Who measured it?
Well, who said they don't have minerals? Europeans.
Yes, that's always they keep going to dig them in Africa. You see, always they say, oh, Africa is the most richest mineral countries. They may be lying. They may be lying. They just want to keep digging, and they have their own where they will take whatever they feel to do that. That's why they keep taking a cheap price. They keep using politician who doesn't know what the value they have, giving everything in Europe or America, because they don't know.
So Do you think?
Who measure what you have? It's just white people.
But maybe they've tried to look and they don't have.
Even if they have, they go to say they have it.
Because if they have it, why should they go and look outside? If we have it, we can just use what we have and.
They make it for future. That is why they get for cheaper. Yeah. For me, that's what I'm thinking. They could be having. Why? Only do they think? That's why you say everything they can market. Oh, Africa is the richest continent. It has this and this. That is bullshit. That is a different marketing put in the people's mind. Say, oh, you are rich. You are rich. Rich for what? To have a huge it means nothing if it doesn't come to the people. If people enjoying it. What you then point to say it? Oh, this is the richest country. This, what does it bring to the people? A country doesn't get rich. People think country it's a land. Country is people.
Country is the people.
Okay, I think we're done.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the Rabasha Family Podcast. We are bringing you guys more conversations on the way, so stay tuned and let us know what you guys think below. Let's take a photo. What's up, TikTok? All my people on TikTok? Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you guys later. TikTok is always lit. Okay, how do I escape?